Jill saw Cullyn, trotting back with a load of wood, and his eyes were narrow with exasperation. The gnome vanished.
"Jill, by the gods!" Cullyn snapped. "What cursed strange kind of game or such like were you playing? Talking to yourself and pretending to carry something, I mean."
"It was not, just a game."
Cullyn dumped the wood onto the ground.
"I won't have it. It makes you look like a half-wit or such like, standing around talking to yourself. I'll buy you a doll if you want something to talk to that badly."
"I've got a doll, thanks."
"Then why don't you talk to it?"
"I will, promise."
Cullyn set his hands on his hips and looked her over.
"And just what were you pretending? More of that nonsense about the Wildfolk?"
Jill hung her head and began scrubbing at the grass with the toe of her boot. Cullyn slapped her across the face.
"I don't want to hear a word of it. No more of this babbling to yourself."
"I won't, promise."
Jill bit her lip hard to keep back the tears.
"Oh, here."
Suddenly, Cullyn knelt down in front of her and put his hands on her shoulders.
"Forgive me the slap, my sweet. Your poor old father's all to pieces these days."
He hesitated for a moment, looking honestly troubled.
"Jill, listen to me. There's plenty of people in the kingdom who believe the Wildfolk are real enough. Do you know what else they believe? That anyone who can see them is a witch. Do you know what could happen to you if someone heard you talking to the Wildfolk? For all that you're but a little lass, there could be trouble over it. I don't want to have to cut my way through a crowd of farmers to keep you from being beaten to death."
Jill went cold all over and started shaking. Cullyn drew her into his arms and hugged her, but she felt like shoving him away and running wildly into the forest. "But I do see them," she thought. "Does that make me a witch?
Am I going to turn into an old hag and have the evil eye and poison people with herbs?"
When she realised that she couldn't even share these fears with her father, she began to cry.
"Oh, here, Cullyn said. "My apologies. Now don't think of it any more and we'll have a bit to eat. But now you know why you can't go babbling about Wildfolk where other people can hear you."
"I won't, I truly promise."
In the middle of the night, Jill woke up to find the world turned to silver by moonlight. The grey gnome was hunkered down near her head as if he was keeping guard over her. Since Cullyn was snoring loudly, Jill risked whispering to him.
"You're my best and truest friend, but I don't want to be a witch."
The gnome shook his head in a vigorous no.
"Isn't it true? Do only witches see you?"
Again came the reassuring no. He patted her face gently, then disappeared with a gust of wind that seemed to send the moonlight dancing. For a long time, Jill lay awake, smiling to herself in profound relief. Yet she knew that her Da was right. From now on, she would have to be very careful.